Hello everyone. Good evening. Good evening
Hi, sir.
everyone.
Good evening, sir.
Guys. Uh, so guys, quickly, what happened in the market? 2 days market. One day market was down. The other day market was up. So which sector performed? Someone said reality performed today, right?
Yes, sir.
What happened in reality sector? Any news about reality sector? Any news? No, no news. So anything that you would like to share? If you are an analyst now, tell me what you have learned last 1 week reading newspapers. Which stars are in focus?
Sir, just wanted to highlight today, um, every sector had a increase had a rise. No sector went negative today.
Okay.
This was my observation for today. Yeah, all
Okay.
sectors have performed.
But which was the high performing sector? Which was the sector that performed better?
Realty has performed well out of all,
Okay.
and again, oil and gas and metal and commodities have been highlighting today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Acha, now, anyone else? Realty was up. Any specific stock cases that you saw was up?
Today, so it was IB Realty and Oberoi. I mean, all realty stocks moved up except for um,
So for
except for Sobha. That is the only stock that didn't perform.
the realty sector is doing good.
Yes,
There was an IPO now. RR Cable. RR
yes,
Cable. PLE. Now this will have all the data about the real estate because wires and cables are used specifically in the real estate segment. So if you want to see the news, see the DRHP, you will find data about the FMCG sector. See, I posted in the group, there are 4, 5 openings currently, 4, 5 HRs are telling me, Rishabh, do you have someone? See, they write 1 year of experience, but six months is also fine. And they want someone who knows about the market. In that, first criteria was industry trends. Modeling comes second. First is industry trends. If you don't know about any industry, so it is not a specific industry that they want. But if you don't know about any industry, what is happening in the stock market every day, you are probably gonna get rejected in the interviews. However good models you have, but if you don't know about the industry, you will get rejected. Okay, now specific modeling interviews are there, and that modeling interviews they will obviously tell you to make a model. See how the interview goes on. They tell you to make a model and write investment thesis on that. If you don't know about the industry, what investment thesis will you write? Just because company is doing good, it doesn't mean that it will do good in the future. The industry should perform. Okay. So I was now one more thing I ask as an analyst, what did you see around? Any new thing that you saw around when you must have gone out or read something new? Anything? Anyone? Anyone? What did you observe? Nothing new? Anything. I'm not saying any stock specific.
From the last 1 week, which I observed was mostly about the auto sector.
Okay. What
It's
happened in the auto
mostly
sector?
means the government is focusing on energy sector. Means electric. It is focusing on electric. They are
Sorry.
coming with a hybrid option. Hello.
Sorry, your voice is low, Suraj.
Just and the new thing is the auto companies which are coming with a hybrid model means they will be having a petrol also. With the petrol, they will include EV also.
That is called plug-in hybrid.
Yes, sir. Which I
Uh,
observe new
so
thing.
what was that? What was news on that?
Sorry.
What was news on? क्या observe किया?
ऑब्जर्व ये था कि सर उसमें ये था कि बस उसमें ये है कि फिलहाल के जो चैलेंजेस हो रहे हैं इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के लिए चैलेंजेस हो रहे हैं उनके लिए, नहीं तो वो बेस्ट टू गो थ्रू है। मतलब आने वाले कुछ 2030 तक ये मॉडल एप्लीकेबल हो जाएगा हर जगह, जो हाइब्रिड को एक अच्छा रिस्पॉन्स मिलेगा। ऐसा मैंने रीड किया था एक कुछ 3 दिन पहले का न्यूज है ये।
राइट, 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 मैंने भी पढ़ा ये न्यूज। दिस वाज, सी दिस इज, ही हैज ऑब्जर्व्ड। ओके, anyone else observe anything in the market, not market, anywhere around, नया प्रोडक्ट, नए सर्विसेज, तुमको कुछ अच्छा लगा, तुमको कोई प्रोडक्ट अच्छा लगा, एनीथिंग? नहीं, तेजस, कुछ नहीं?
सर वाज गोइंग थ्रू दिस आरआर केबल का डीआरएचपी, तो उससे थोड़ा एक ये देखा, जो भी पियर्स है, से हैवेल्स, पॉलीकैब, केईआई, all have gone up from October 22, almost doubled। मतलब क्योंकि वो डीआरएच पे पड़ रहा था, तो उसमें से थोड़ा
क्या क्या
इंडस्ट्री
ऊपर गया
और
सर? डबल?
ऑल द पियर्स, मतलब जो भी आरआर केबल के पियर्स रहेंगे, जैसे हैवेल्स, पॉलीकैब, केईआई, ऑल हैव डबल्ड फ्रॉम लास्ट ईयर। लिटरली मतलब सबका ग्राफ ऊपर ही गया है।
ओके, तो रीजन क्या था, क्यों ऊपर गया, वो नहीं पड़ा? व्हाट इज द रीजन?
सो एक ये था कि मतलब आरआर के उसके डीआरएचपी में ये था कि जो इंडिया का कंज्यूमर इलेक्ट्रिक का है, इट इज थर्ड लार्जेस्ट प्रोड्यूसर एंड सेकंड लार्जेस्ट कंज्यूमर ऑफ कंज्यूमर इलेक्ट्रिसिटी। तो वो एक है, इट हैज मतलब उसका एंटिसिपेशन इज कि बाय 2027 द मार्केट कैप विल ग्रो बाय क्लोज टू 11% CAGR।
किसका?
ये
किसका?
कंज्यूमर इलेक्ट्रिसिटी ओवरऑल
ओके, बाय हाउ मच?
11% CAGR।
11% CAGR, okay. Okay, now 1 second. So guys, this is the data. If you ever track consumer electric goods or maybe any consumer sector, 11% is the growth you can take while forecasting sales. Okay, if not the company growth, at least the industry growth. This is one data you got. Okay, yeah, David, go ahead.
और
Just go.
ये एंड उसमें और मतलब ओवरऑल अर्बनाइजेशन का भी काफी था, तो उससे एक डेटा मिला था कि that India is moving rapidly towards urbanization. So approximately by 2025, it is anticipated कि 63% of India's population will move to urban cities, which indicates again real estate boom का uh, थोड़ा indication. Yes, this was the industry overview in DRHP, RR cable case।
Fine,
मतलब ये थोड़ा
fine.
relevant लगा इससे।
Okay, fine, fine, fair enough. Asha, now what I observed, I will tell you one thing. What I observed in this last week, when I went out. Acha, you know Oreo biscuits? Everyone?
Yes. Yes sir,
Oreo,
न्यू
जो,
पैकेजिंग है,
sorry?
न्यू मॉडल लॉन्च हुआ उनका, मतलब मैंने अभी जस्ट देखा।
Acha, okay, fine. Oreo biscuit, na, everyone, do you like? Ask your siblings, even you might be liking. It's on personal preference, but you go, Oreo is a highest or maybe a good selling product. Wherever you go, you will find Oreo. Now tell me, who is the competitor of Oreo? Anyone? Who is the competitor of Oreo? See, Oreo biscuits are good. Do you agree? Oreo biscuits are good if you like, if you're a chocolate fan.
Yes. Yes.
They are good. Even I eat. I like it. Okay. Now, any competitor of Oreo? Oreo is made by Cadbury, right? Cadbury, it's a Cadbury product, and Cadbury is not listed in India. Do you know a competitor of Oreo?
Britannia.
नहीं comparison वो the specific Oreo biscuit product. जो see Britannia तो makes so many products, right? See Oreo makes specifically chocolate biscuits.
Sunfish
Right.
Dark Fantasy.
Sunfish Dark Fantasy. Sunfish तो ITC हो गया.
हाँ.
But it is not a common. वो milk cream में नहीं आता है. It doesn't come in. Dark Fantasy is direct, total dark. Think I don't know. Dark Fantasy.
Bonbon.
नहीं नहीं. See the Oreo biscuit, you know why it was famous? Because क्या guys क्या है तुम लोग ये भी इतना भी रिसर्च नहीं करते. No, Oreo biscuit why it was famous? Because milk with a cookie. वो cookie था ऊपर. It wasn't a biscuit. It was a cookie and with a what is it? Milk in it.
Milk in.
मतलब
So
तो biscuit कोई है क्या?
Sir, your voice is
Sunfish sandwich biscuit.
Hello.
Sorry, हाँ क्या हुआ? What happened, Suraj? Sorry.
Your voice is getting echo.
Echo?
नहीं मतलब.
Is it? Echo
Same
हो रहा
issue is facing by all brothers.
No, not facing this.
हाँ, same issue ना?
No, not facing this issue. No, it is okay.
It's fine now, right?
Yeah, it is good, sir. I mean,
Fine. Okay. Okay.
sir,
हाँ.
Sunfish sandwich biscuit एक है ITC again.
Sunfish कौन सा है? क्या?
Sunfish sandwich biscuit.
खाया क्या कभी?
हाँ खाया है एक थोड़ा
खाया?
पहले पर
मैं
बहुत
पूछ रहा हूँ. I'm just asking. कौन सा Sunfish sandwich? I have never heard about this. I have never heard. I don't know. Okay, Sunfish. Dark Fantasy. Have you others? Have you ate this biscuit? Anyone?
Yes.
नहीं long back but मतलब ऐसा.
I don't remember this. I seeing on the grocery store. I don't remember this. There might be, but I don't remember. Go and ask now tomorrow. Whenever you go to a grocery shop, just ask him, do you have this Dark Fantasy? This one. Okay. Acha, this was the only one. Anyone else? Anything else?
Bector's food.
Which one?
Bector's food.
Vectors for which is the product? Which is the product? I'm not saying the company. I'm saying the product.
They have all the biscuits and all, cookies and everything.
That I know. They are into biscuits. There are many players. I'm saying any specific competition because Oreo has survived just because of that one biscuit. That one biscuit was a game changer for Oreo. That there was no biscuits like that in the country ever with cookie and a cream. So what I'm saying. Have you ate any biscuits like that? Oreo to everyone has ate.
Nothing else.
Oreo everyone must have ate, right? I agree. I never ate this, nor even I have seen my cousin or my niece eating this, small cousins. I have never seen. The Fabio also is there, but I have never seen people eating because Oreo has a different fan base, right? Now, see, I have post something in the group. See the photo. Have you seen this biscuit? The photo I've sent in the group.
No, not seen.
I
You
have
have not
not
it, right?
seen.
You have not seen,
No.
right? Even I didn't
Not
see. I saw it for the first time. Yesterday I went to this supermarket. I went to buy Oreo. Okay. Specifically, I went to buy Oreo. Is the name of that Britannia?
Treat.
Cool Vanilla. This is what I have got. Treat. This is, I think, it's a new launch. It was costing around 30. I saw Oreo. What is the price of Oreo? What is the price of Oreo? 30 for how many grams is this? 120 grams. Now see here. Now see Oreo price. Oreo price. How much was it? 120 grams. No? Oreo cost 35. Now you will say, sir, 5 रुपए में क्या फर्क पड़ता है? इफ यू तुमको नहीं फर्क पड़ता होगा बट करोड़ों लोग इंडिया में उनको फर्क पड़ता है. Even 1 rupee change makes a lot of difference. Now, specifically, I bought that and I went to buy Oreo in a shelf. Right beside that, there was this product kept, Britannia. I saw, "Kari, which is this product? I've never seen this product in the market." It was the newer product. And right beside Oreo, how Oreo is kept, means the rack, in that right beside rack, this was kept. And I specifically bought it to see that whether it has the same taste or no. And I personally liked it because Oreo is a little bit sweeter side. This was not that sweet. Oreo is too sweet. This was little bit, well, you can say less sweeter. Now this is the new thing that I observed, and I went to Britannia's website to see what is Britannia doing. And if you read to the conference call of Britannia, they are coming up with several products to compete ITC and this Oreo. And now see, let's say if Oreo in India, there was no competition, Oreo was selling 1,000 products. Okay. And Britannia zero. Okay. Assuming that Oreo come. Now, Britannia will also get a share. Britannia will also get a share in that 1,000 crores. Maybe 1,000 crores of sales they might be doing. Oreo. Britannia will also get a share. And that is the highest selling product. It's the only chocolate with Cadbury sells. Cadbury's are into chocolates. But it's the only biscuits that Cadbury sells. And it is one of the best selling product. Now Britannia has competed, and being Britannia, Britannia has a big supply chain logistic. So now they will help, means they can grow in this. Keep an eye on the Britannia stock. Inflation is decreasing, monsoon is good. Britannia has a good presence in the ruler. They have lot of stores. They have front end presence everywhere. Britannia is a long brand, it is a very old brand. Plus the prices is 5 rupees less. See, if you talk in percentage terms, how much is it? If you talk in percentage term, it is like almost 16%, 17% lower price, and that makes a huge difference. 17% reduction in price. Britannia only can afford, being a bigger player. And Oreo now comes into they can say it will come into a premium category or maybe a costlier category. Ultras or Maruti? Ultras or Brezza? Guys, you can Ultras or Brezza. Sorry, Ultras or Baleno. What do you prefer?
Ultras.
Ultras. Reasons?
सर अल्ट्रास का लुक अच्छा है.
Okay, looks. And
Safety.
feature, safety. Okay, fine. Fine. Or
बस that's all.
okay, looks, feature, safety. Okay, right. For that you will, for that you will not take Baleno, right? This is what you said just now. Okay. Baleno has a feature. Okay. Baleno has features. Okay. Looks are okay. Looks depends on preference to preference. You like Ultras, I might like Baleno's looks. Okay. But LEDs are there. Screen is there. Nowadays they have come up, updated the model. If you see the new Baleno, there are LED, there are DRLs also, etc. Same Ultras and Baleno. Ultras cost 10 lakhs. Ultras cost 10 lakhs. Balenos cost you 8 lakhs. Which will you buy? Now, which will you buy? If your, everyone has a budget. Everyone has a budget. Now, which will you buy? Baleno or
Baleno.
Ultras? See, now probably depending on your budget, 2 lakhs cheaper with the same features. Okay, safety hoga, do teen hoga isme Baleno mein. But now Baleno is also 4-star, I think. 3 or 4-star. So that is okay. For that safety, will you spend 2 lakhs? 2 lakhs is 2 lakh, and obviously cars are taken on loans. That 2 lakhs increase your EMI. In India, approximate one means the to the interest rate on 1,000, it is approx 1,700 EMI that you pay per lakh. Per lakh EMI you pay 7,000. So 2 lakh extra you will pay approx 3,400 rupees extra on your EMIs. 3,400 rupees extra for the month. It means for the year you pay approx 40,000 extra for just that safety. Do you think Indian care? Do you think Indians care about this?
No.
This safety. Because of safety, you will pay 2 lakhs. We are not in Europe. Okay. That people care. People that buy Alto also. 1-star safety. So this is at least 4-5 star. Okay. So this is where now Britannia has an edge over the Oreo. Now it is, if that biscuits of Oreo is selling, I feel that Britannia will also be able to sell. This is one change I saw in the entire. Now I do paper trade. I go and buy Britannia. I will go and buy one Britannia. Only one stock. The price now, I think it is around 15,000.
No, 5,000.
Sorry, not 15, 5,000. Yeah. So I had purchased this one stock.
457.
I will purchase this and see what is happening. When is the right time to buy this stock, or where is that Oreo doing? Obviously now the company doesn't belong only on one biscuits, but Britannia's, I have heard in the con call that they are coming up with newer products, and that you will easily start seeing. Now go to the shop whenever now you go to any grocery shop or maybe supermarket, usually a supermarket. Go to DMart and see whether you see this biscuit now. Observe. This is observation. This is where research starts. And then you put all your research into models. Make your model speak, not just numbers. Okay. Now Dharmesh have sent me this. Now good Dharmesh that you have put all the data over here. Cash flow is done. Balance sheet is done. Okay. Now Dharmesh found one issue. Dharmesh, what was the issue? Dharmesh, what was the issue?
From FY16, the accounting standard has been changed. So that's the reason the 15 data is not been available for P&L and cash flow. It's not matching. The data is not matching with the previous years.
Yeah. So now what happened? Now this has happened that even 18.9 in some companies, you say Indian accounting standards have changed from 17.18. So there, what you will find now this year, let us say this year, okay, other current assets were, let's say, 15,400. Might be possible that, so you will see 17.16. If you go annual report, 17 annual report or 17.16, you will see. Time 17.16, what will happen is that there will be numbers. But when you go to 16 balance sheet to find 15 numbers, this number might have changed. This number might have changed because of the accounting changes. So you need to take data from the recent annual report only. Means you are doing for FY17. So in that FY16 data is the latest one. Don't go to FY16's annual report and get FY16 number. So how I do is I open 23 annual report and get 22 numbers. Then how I get 21 numbers? I get 21 numbers from 22 annual report. Then I open 21 annual report to find 20 numbers. I open 20 annual report to get 19 numbers, not the 20 numbers. Okay. Got it? Now this you will find, now you have to make changes over here. Dharmesh, you can add or subtract whatever, add or, you should add rows. No need of matching this, okay? You can easily add this, okay? Add that number, any column, any specific item is added. So keep on adding it. Okay, no harm in doing that. Fine?
Okay.
Okay. See, now the reason I've told you to punch, to show you your mistakes. How you punch, copy pasting also you do mistakes. Not mistakes, but a way of presenting also. Over here, you see this lines, this is over here, this is over here, this is over here. Why is this? All the things, can I say, should be aligned? All the things should be aligned. And this is 0. It should come on, this is the pointer, okay? This should not go aside anywhere. So this is 0. So this is also 0 now. Why it is blank? Why it is blank? And then 0, I do it comma, it will go. So everywhere, wherever it is blank, you should keep. This is fine. It is 0 now. Last year it was 0. So this should not look blank, or the number shouldn't be anywhere else. This is data of copy pasting. Art of copy pasting. Because as a fresher, you will be asked to copy paste data only. You will not be given to analyze data. First, do you know how to copy paste? Maybe how to present something. Then only you will be allowed to get the data. Okay. And let's say I was your analyst and you would have given me like this. So I would have gone mad at you. And you don't have even sense of having, because this model will be sent to the clients. Okay. This model will be sent to the clients. And go up and do this and no decimals. All numbers. So this is also 0. Also 0. Okay. Fine. Okay. Now see, when I go down, can I find which year is this? Can you tell me which year is this? Which year is this? Which year is this? No, right? You cannot find because data is more. If I go this side, okay, I want to see this data. Okay, which number is this? Which line item is this? You don't know. Now what you do? What you do is there is a function in Excel. There is a function called freeze. Means what? When I go down, I don't want the top row to move, and when I go on the side, on the right hand side, I don't want it to go because I want to find the numbers. I want to find which data is this, what number is this. So what you do is over here, view, freeze panes. See what I do? Freeze panes, and then again freeze panes. But for that, you have to keep your cursor below this. Okay, first, whichever. So now you see there's a line which has come. There's a line. Now if I go down, see what happens. Go down. There is. See, I can see which item is this, which year is this. I can know it is 21 year. And I go this side. What I find is, okay, I can find this number belongs to provisions. Okay. Now here, why it is bold? Should not be bold. Okay. So these all things you have to keep because I learned this. Why I'm able to find these errors now? Because I used to do these errors. When I was fresher, I used to do this error. And that time, I used to get scolding by the manager. Forget about the research what I have done. He used to scold me that, Rishabh, you cannot present things. I don't want your research. I can do that research. I want to present because when I look at the numbers, I am not going to do this presentation because I have to send this client as this file to the client. So it should look good. And then over this, so we start from right. What I do is home and I go over here. Okay. I do this. Got it? This is how I do. Now this is C. This is bold. So it should be full bold. Leave spaces. Leave spaces. The reason leave spaces is like this is assets. Okay. Now see. Now one more error, Dharmesh. What are these numbers in crores, millions, billions, trillions? What is it? How will I know this number is in crores, millions, lakhs? What are these numbers in? This might be in Maruti. I have 44,000 crores of cash. So 34. So it is in millions. Right?
Madhuti, it's
Sir,
in million.
It is in millions. So it
It
is
is
in
million.
millions. So it is in. So how we write particulars in millions? Particulars in millions. Should write this. See, basic error. This I have also done. But this, when you do it, then only you understand that these are the things that you need to post in a report. Okay. Then leave lines. It should look clean. See, total expenses done now over here. In leave, this is a new thing. Leave space, this is again joint associates, profit after tax. Tax expense is different. This is what total tax, and you have to write. If it's not there, then you write it. Total tax. Then leave it. See space. See how it looks now. Comprehensive income is not needed as of now. Okay. See now, look, does it look good? Now what will I do? I will format this. Like, this is my, I used to do this like this, top and bottom. Okay, this is my tax rate. This is how it started. So now you will do a heading. Now you have thick bottom. Okay. This is your heading, right? Then total expenses again, I will club this total expense. I do this. Now again, over here expenses. This is how it started. Expenses. No headline we used to do now. School time. Is to make this heading, underline and all. But when it comes to corporate, we forget. See now the same data, isn't it looking good? Same data, no? Total income. Now, can you know that this part is of revenue? This part is of expenses. Can I say these are expenses? These are some share of profits. That is a different line items. This is a profit after tax. And these are profit after tax. And then this is a tax expense, and this is profit for the year. Can you segregate things now? This is your tax expenses. This is your exceptional items. This is your expenses. See now how it looks. Looking clean? Looking clean? Okay. Now in this, can you tell me what is the EBITDA margin? What is the gross margins? What is revenue growth? Now, how much was the revenue growth? What was the interest in growth? What was the total tax rate? Now here you cannot find this because this is a raw data that you have copy pasted. Okay. Now you have started from C. So I will open one sheet. Okay. I will open one sheet. I will do formatting for my PN only for PNL because PNL is the first thing that we look. What is the sales growth? What is the margins? Okay. So now see how I do it. Same particulars in crores, particulars in millions, particulars in millions. Okay. Then okay. Bold this. So see now FY15 started from C. So make sure in all your sheets, it should start from C only. Now what is in A? Why is A not there? So A is written. Okay, fine. This is not required. You can delete this. Okay, so it starts from B. So make sure it starts from B. So it should start from B only. Okay, not from any other cell, because if any wrong linkages happen, you need to know that. From here only you will understand. Now you know that all H figures will be of FY21. So in all the files, J will come. FY23 numbers will be in J only in any of the files. Here also FY23, see it is in J. Cash flows FY23 should be in J. Whenever you create more sheets, it will be in J only. Okay. See now why it is 15. Why it is starting from 16?
So I have not entered FY15 data.
No, but you have not
Column A is
written
there. Column A is there.
cash flow. Column A. Column A, you need to delete it. This will start from C only. Keep it blank. If you have not written, just write it and keep it blank. Okay. Right? So start from every sheet will start from FY15. All the sheets, make sure you start from FY15. B should be FY15, right? Okay. Now I make some formula. Acha, P&L starts with we learned P&L starts with revenue from operations. Okay. We learned that day about modeling working file. This was a P&L. We have to find operating profits. Always we talk about operating profits. Okay. So what we'll start with revenue from operations. So what I do is equal to, I do equal to and go to my sheet, okay, P&L, and I put it over here. Okay. Revenue from operations. Okay. This is one way of doing, which will take a lot of time. Okay, let me do it. Okay, I will show one way and then how to use it Excel in a better way. Okay. So I will do it one. Okay. Now after revenue, what comes? Revenue.
Expense.
Sorry.
Cost of goods sold.
Cost of goods sold.
Cost of goods sold.
Goods sold.
Now over here, there are. So now from over here, which is cost of goods sold? From all the expenses, right? Which is cost of goods sold? Which are cost of goods sold?
Material consumed.
Material consumed.
And material
Purchase.
consumed. Yeah, purchases. This is also purchase of stock. And this is also one of the changes in inventory. It is also part of goods. Okay. It is also part of cost of goods. Now, anyone knows what is this? You have written this. So do you know what is it? You will find this in every company. You'll find this in every company. Do you know what is it? Changes in inventory of finished good. You see, sometimes there is minus sign also over here. There is a minus sign. There is a minus sign again. Plus sign is the cost. But how can cost be negative?
Opening and closing of inventories.
See, does inventory come into expenses? Does
Yes.
inventory come into expenses? P&L means with profit and loss. So income and expenses statement. So when you say closing stock, so it's an expense. Closing stock to be right in the P&L, sorry, in the balance sheet, right? Have you ever wondered what is this? Now, let me
Goods
tell you
which
what.
have not been sold.
Sorry, anyone? Suraj, you
So
want to know what is
damaged
it?
goods.
Huh?
The inventory which has been damaged. That won't be thing.
So damage, so damage. Damage is not an operating cost. It is one time. Now, every time there is a damage. Every year. This is 400 crores. Maruti is 400 crores of inventory damaged. Do you think that? 400 crores of inventory damaged. And it is negative. So it is like profit for you, no? Cost is negative. Means what? It is a profit for you. So you look at now annual reports. What is it? Have you ever wondered what is this? What item is this? We all say changes in inventory. What exactly it means? Tejas, we had discussed this in the class. I know you forgot. Remember?
No, sir.
Now you guys are MBA, you guys are BCom, some might be even highly educated. Rahul is level 2. Rahul, what number is this?
Sir,
Huh?
I think it cost of goods sold.
So
This is
this number is
No.
actually goods that are in factory which
Purchase
are
cost of
getting
goods sold.
produced.
Okay,
These
goods
are
that
actually goods that are being produced or being transported, or you can say are in dealership.
see Tribhuvan, there is also a negative sign, means that your costs have reduced. How can your cost reduce? It's a profit for you, right? Okay. Now,
maybe
I know even
maybe
I didn't knew that. So, see now, problem with this is our education. No one teaches this in college. I had taught Tejas, but Tejas forgot. What is it? So why? Because why? Now, why professors and industry guys are important? Means industry guys are different. Because professor will never tell you. He will say this is cost of goods sold. Why this? First of all, you never go on the live company's balance sheet. You never make live companies. But when you see something like this, you never wonder what is it. And you Google it now. The problem is that Google also don't tell you what that number is. And they try to tell you, a CA will understand, but not a normal guy will understand. Now, what is that? Now, how does that process goes? When you reporting, now we'll talk about that reporting, IFRS and all. These questions are asked in interviews, huh? I was asked this in interview, that what is this? You said you did modeling. What is this item? Now, when you talk about account reporting, okay, when you purchase a car, okay, okay, at 10 lakhs, do you report it as the market value or the book value? Book value means, let's say now, at what price will you report the car in the balance sheet? There are two types. One is book value and one is fair value. Have you heard this? Book value and fair value,
Yes.
right? What does book value means? Book value of a car, what does it mean?
Your cost price at cost at which you bought.
At the cost at which you purchase. Now, since it's a depreciable asset, this book value is also called cost minus depreciation. Okay. So, or I can say book value is the cost at which you purchase the asset. The cost at which you purchase the asset. The cost at which you purchase the asset. Okay. The cost at which you purchase the asset. So means if you buy a car, you will report it as the price that you purchase is 10 lakh minus any depreciation, if any. Okay. Depreciation, if any. Okay. If any. Acha. Now, when I purchase a stock, what is its value? What will I report? Let us say I purchase a stock for 1 lakh. Now its value, I purchased on 1st April. Now its value is to 1,50,000. What price will I report? What price will I report?
Book value
one.
1 lakh, fair value 1,60,000.
So what value will I? Should I report it at book value? Means at cost, right? Book value means when I say book value at cost, okay? Or fair value. What should I report? In the balance sheet, what should I?
1,50,000.
Acha. Car, when I say you purchase a car, let's say 10 lakh was the car price and minus 10,000, let's say depreciation. Okay. Sorry, 1 lakh is the depreciation. Okay. So when you go and sell the car, will you get 9 lakhs? So you report 9 lakh as the value of the car. But when you go and sell the car, will you get the exact 9 lakh rupees? Think
No.
you have everyone has a
No.
car. The price might be different. It might be high, it might be low. So why don't you report at that price? Why report at 9 lakh? Ever wondered why you report at 9 lakhs? Why not at the market price? Why not at the market price? Fair value, or I will say fair value is also said to be the market price. Okay, in easy terms. Market price. Why so? Anyone? Ever
Because
wondered?
market price keep on changing.
So
So it fluctuates Very much so.
So why this? The market price of stocks also changes, no? Keeps on changing. So why you report at fair value? So, this is where Rahul, you might get this for the SG analytics and all. Might get. They ask you all this useless kinds of stuff which are not related to financing, but you should know this because you said that you are a financial analyst. You need to know that number. No? See, this 400 crores number you don't know. So it might create a huge problem for analysis. You don't know what this 400 crore number is. Not a small amount, 400 crores. Now the concept of fair value and book value are two. Book value, when you report at book value, when the intention, when you report, when the intention is not to make profit, intention is not to make profits from the assets, profits from selling. Do you intend to make profits by selling cars? When you purchase a car, you think that now I will purchase 10 lakh, I will sell for 12 lakhs.
No.
Is it your intention? You purchase assets to use it, right? You're not into car dealing business. You purchase assets to use it. And second, this is the first criteria. Second criteria is that it should have a live market. It should have a live market. This is secondary, secondary criteria. Not mandatory. This is mandatory. Live market. Now, can you tell me the price of the car which is there in your buildings? Can go and say this price. This car is of 5 lakh. This car is of 7 lakhs. Can you exactly tell the price? Now I say I have two cars. Okay, I have two cars. One is Baleno, one is Ultras. Can you tell me I tell that I have purchased in 2020. Can you tell me the price of my car? Can you? No?
No, no,
Acha,
not the actual price.
right. If I say I have 10 TCS stocks, can you tell me the price or how much will be worth? How much the stocks worth will be? I say I have 10 stocks of TCS in my portfolio. Can you everyone find what is the price of total value of my stocks?
Yes.
Right? And why have you purchased this stock? What is your intention to use it? No, no. What is the intention? To make
profit.
profits. To make profit. That is why you stocks. So when you report at fair value, it is ideally the intention is to make profits. Intention is to make profits, and second is it has a live market as well. It has a live market. So everyone can know the price. Every investor, if I say I have 10 stocks, he can analyze what is the price of my investment. Okay. Here, if I say I have two cars, a person sitting in US will never understand how much is the worth of the car. Can be higher, it can be lower. And obviously there is no intention of making profits on it. Okay. These are the two reasons why a book value and a fair value is used. Okay. Got it? And why these are book value and fair value internal. This is a part of accounting, but still you need to know because to understand that amount. So now a tricky question. What about inventory? What about inventories? What about inventories?
Cost of market value, whichever is lower.
This we have learned now, Ratik, in college. Cost or market
Yes.
value. Why so? What why? What Ratik is saying, inventory should report at, see, first of all, from this criteria, can I say inventory qualifies both the criteria? Can I say
Yes.
this? Inventories qualify with both the criteria. that it is an intention to make profits, right? And it also have a live market, or maybe it will not have a live market, right? Can you tell me how much of worth of inventory I have, the stocks? I said I have 25 biscuits in my go down. You cannot value them. Acha. But so the second criteria which matches is, do you have the intention to make profits by selling it? Means do you think that the price of the inventory will increase? Means let's say you are what do you say, a producer of car. Okay. Now do you think that car value will increase and then you will make profits? Is it what the intention is? Is it you want to make profits because the value of the inventory increase, or you want to sell it by your marketing strategies?
Second option.
Second one. So the intention is to make profits from selling inventories. Sorry, intention is not to make profits by selling at a higher price. The intention is to make profits by uh, selling at a price that you want, not what the inventory value has increased. Okay, that is the criterion how you report inventories. Okay, inventories you report at, now he says cost. Now what is the problem? You will report it at the cost or market value, whichever is lower, whichever is lower, whichever is lower. Okay, cost or market. See, both first two assets are reported at cost, and one which are intention to sell, they are reported at fair value. So in inventory, what happens? It is an intention to make profit, but it is not intention from increase in price. Not have an intention to increase in price, and it doesn't have a live market as well. It doesn't have a live market. So inventories are exceptional where you say that it is cost or market value, whichever is lower. Means that if you have purchased, let's say, an inventory, okay, for let's say you have made a car, okay, which is costing 5 lakhs. Okay, one car you have in your godown, which is costing 5 lakhs. Now, does the value of the car increase? Will it increase by keeping the car?
No. No. No.
No, no, value of the car. Can I say it can decrease? It can
Yes.
decrease.
Yes.
Why? Because might be the product is absolute, or maybe it has damaged, or maybe the product is gone out of favor now. A facelift model is launched. You see that people are selling at lower than the cost at times. Now, if the market value decline for this kind of product, what you say that means that you are not able to even sell at 5 lakhs. It happens like that. Means you have purchased the car at 5 lakhs, mean the production cost was 5 lakhs, but now the value have fallen so much that you are not able to sell it at the market price. Okay, like that. But now this was the total cost. Now, what about steel prices? Now, let us say Maruti, Maruti's majority of inventory is steel. This cost of material, what is it? Cost of material consumed is steel. Majority of the item is steel. Do you agree? Maruti purchased steel.
Yes.
Let us say Maruti has purchased this 300,000 of milk, or let's say, sorry, steel. 3 lakh crores of steel. Acha, now steel prices can change. Steel prices can change.
Yes.
You have purchased inventories for 3 lakh, okay? So you report at cost. Now what happens? Let's say the steel price increased to 3,50,000. Okay. Now is it your profit? Is it a profit for the company? You have purchased for you have it in your godown, and the price increased to 3,50,000. Now what? Now what should I report? Tell me, what should I report? cost or market value?
3
Cost
lakh.
or huh? What should I report?
3 lakh.
3 lakh. You should report it because we have said cost or market value, whichever is lower. Because we report a higher price only when we intend to make profits. So we don't intend to make profits by increasing price. But it can happen that the price of the commodity increase, the steel that you have purchased now increase. Now what about the 3,50,000? Where will you report? Where will you report? That it is a profit. Now see, ideally it's a profit because you had purchased a product at 3 lakh, but the price have increased to 3,50,000. So ideally it's a profit for you. Ideally it is a profit. Now where will that profit reflect? Where will that profit reflect? See, you will report at 3,50,000 only. But when you go and sell the inventories, okay, when you 3,50,000. So can I say, guys, you have earned a profit of 50,000. You have done a profit. So ideally it should reflect in the P&L. Am I right? See, you will make a finished good and sell the product, right?
Yes.
So whenever you make profit, you report in the P&L, other income, right? Other income. This is what? Other income is a part of all the prices of your investment increase, or maybe dividend received, asset sold. So it should reflect in the P&L. It's a profit. But now what happens? This profit wasn't intention. It was an intentional profit. It increased. The price of the commodity increased. So that profit, is reflected. So how will you reflect cost? You will in the P&L, you will write 3 lakh as the cost. So how will you report in the P&L? Let us say you sold all of this material. So you will report cost in the P&L as 3 lakh. Okay. And now you will take less changes in inventory. Changes in inventory. Which is what? Which is 50,000. That is why negative 50,000. So what happened? The total cost was 2,50,000. This was your profit. So you don't take it as a profit. You reduce it from your cost. Got it? You reduce it from your cost. You don't report it as an income. You don't report it as an income because intention wasn't to make profits. It has increased because of the economic factors. But where will you report that profit? That profit is reported as a reduction in cost. Got it? Now over here, when you analyze that, you have a
So, but
reduction
it
in
has,
cost. Sorry.
but it has reduced the cost. Earlier, we
Sorry.
are going to record at 3 lakhs. But if we reduce the 50,000, then it will reduce. Then we are going below the cost.
If you reduce, it's a loss. If the price is okay, you say the market value reduced, right? You say the market value reduced. Now the market value, let us say it has comes at 2,50,000. Okay. Or is it 2 lakh? Just to keep it simple. It has 2 lakh. Now 2 lakh, it's a loss. Now 2 lakh is a run. Now where you report that loss? You report here. Because see, you had purchased at 3 lakh. What is your operational loss? Means have you done anything for that loss? So market has done.
No.
So it is not an actual loss. But what happened now? This inventory you could have got at a lower price. But since you had purchased at a higher price, you report this as a loss. Oh yeah. So
Okay,
expenses means increase in expense. You don't report as a loss, you report as increase in expenses. Okay. See now over here you see the changes in inventories are negative. Can I say, steel price had increased? Remember steel price had increased in COVID? Just go back and see.
Yes.
So that steel price
Yes.
was increased in COVID. So this is usually a lag impact. And that is why, Maruti have purchased this and the price Maruti have must purchase somewhere over here, steel at lower price. But when it went to sell, at that time the price of the steel have increased. Now see, again it has increased. Now you see, recently the steel price has declined, but it has started increasing again. See from 2013, 2021, 22 to 23, the prices has increased. Or maybe the Maruti must have purchased this steel way back when the prices were declined. Now in 2 years, steel prices have increased. Go and see. Go and see the steel price chart. You will see in these 2 years, the prices have increased. Maruti must have taken steel somewhere over here. Okay. Just see the steel chart. You see steel price chart. You will not get it, but let's see. Steel price chart. Chart from from 2020 to 2020 to 2022. Let us say, will you get it? Price. '21, '22. See, this is steel price. Global. This is hot rolled coal. Hot rolled coil. Increase. From last 2 years, it has been increasing. Last 2 years, it has been increasing. See, from September, it started increasing a lot. This is 21, 2021. This means that Maruti must have purchased steel a lot back. This steel that they have. See, here they have suffered a huge loss. Suffered a huge loss because they might have purchased at a higher price. And the prices might have declined. Here, 2020, it was high. They might have purchased over here and prices must have declined from this. But now the steel prices are continuously increasing. And they have purchased a lot of inventory. They might have purchased a lot of inventories. So Rahul, this thing now you had learned in CFL level 1. In FRA, there was a full topic on this. You might have forgotten or you cannot recollect that. What about this? You know that LIFO FIFO method. Remember?
Yes, sir. Yes,
LIFO
yes.
reporting, FIFO reporting.
Mhm.
What if the inventory
LIFO
value change?
Yes,
The inventory value
I'm
change,
able to
it is
recall
like
little bit.
cost or sorry.
I'm saying that I'm able to recall little bit. Yeah,
Ah.
like I have read something.
You don't recollect
this
because
up.
obviously
Yes,
you don't know because you have not thought from that perspective. Like way.
yes, sir.
Now you will not forget this. That this is why it
Mhm.
was negative. Because whenever the price increases, you cannot report at a higher price. You cannot report at a higher price. So what you do, you reduce your cost. And if the prices reduces, okay, if the price reduces, also it is not your actual expense. You show it as a changes in inventory because of the value change in the inventory, you suffered a loss. You see here the steel price must have. See Tata Steel prices over here. See Tata Steel stock price over here and see over here. Let us see 2017. Now this is how you correlate Maruti and your Tata Steel. Means steel prices. 2000, what was it? 2017. Now let us see what happened in 2017 for Tata Steel. 2017 peak almost. See, Tata Steel has started. 17 means FY 17. So obviously it must have started from 16 only. Now same way this 21, 22 and it is increasing again. It is increasing again. Where it is 20. 20 though it had increased. It was COVID. So okay, COVID. So we'll avoid COVID. But after 21, company must have purchased somewhere over here and it has suffered hefty losses because it had purchased at a higher price. Now see, now in 21, it is growing only. Continuously it is growing. The steel price had a good run. Now it has fallen. Now it has fallen. So if Maruti have purchased steel somewhere over here, it might be possible that in Q24, they might get a loss. Because this is a very high profit that they had done. Quarterly reports are out. Let us see what happened in quarterly reports. Maruti Q1 quarter. Q1 quarter was out. Let us see what happened in the quarterly number. Cost of material. You see increase? No, it has decreased only. This is June quarter. Okay, let's go on the consolidated one. It has decreased only. So means Maruti has purchased steel way back. Okay. Or they are still into profit. Whenever they have purchased the steel, they're still into profit. And I come to know the profitability from Tata Steel chart. Tata Steel is growing up means it is means steel prices are going up. Tata steel prices are going up. Continuously it is going up. See 1 year chart. It is going up. So we were saying max. It has started going up in this levels. Okay. This is what now this if asked in the interview, tell them that it is the profit or the loss that company takes because inventories are reported at cost or market value, which is lower. So can I say it is also cost of production? It should be COGS, no? It should be COGS. Now what I do is I link all this numbers. P&L. All the expenses I write it over here. Okay. All the expenses I have, and then I copy and I just paste it over here. I got the number, this numbers I got. Or what can I do once you punch? So here you have to punch all the expenses in this sheet. You can also club it and write this, or you can club this. So I prefer clubbing it. Cost of goods sold, because this is a format sheet. I need to have a specific number for it. COGS, what I will do is COGS, I will go to P&L and add all this plus cost of material plus cost of purchase of stock in trade and this amount. Cost of goods. Now here I will get cost to sales percentage. See how I do? Cost to sales percentage. All those things I've done in working file, I'm doing it again over here. Cost to sales. Now there's a reason. Now I found out that 59% was the profit, or I can 59.51 was cost to sales. Now my gross profit. All we have done the last classes 6.5 minus this. So this is gross profit. The reason I am giving you or doing this manually for you, because one of my ex-colleague told me, Rishabh, a student don't even know how to copy paste number. It was one of my student. He said, Rishabh, your student doesn't know how to copy paste. He had never made a model, but he was a CFA. That's why I recommended you. But Rahul, this reply I got from my colleague. There was one more student. He was also CFA level 2, cleared. I was giving he attempted level 3. So he was like, Rishabh, I know that he was level 2 clear, but Rishabh, he didn't even know how to punch numbers. He didn't knew that gross profits had to be added. He didn't knew how to calculate margins from the numbers. Like with this raw data, he didn't know how to calculate. So I will not recommend him. Means I will not take him for interview. That's his reply. I was shocked to hear that. BCom guy does it, I can understand. CFA guy, level 2 guy does it. Oh, it is thing to worry. Now this will what happen? This will lead to a reduction in salaries. If you perform that bad in the interview, you might get a job because you have a degree, but it might impact your salary. He will say that you don't have that skills. We will hire you at this salary. Do you want to come? Depends on you. Gross profit. Then what was the other expense? I will write. So now when I do, I have taken all this. I have taken this. So I just mark it in yellow. I also taken this, so I don't forget any items, the P&L. Then excise duty. Okay, excise duty was. You see, excise duty declined in 19. Excise duty declined in 19. Why so?
So might be GST is implemented.
GST
was included. GST had come in 2018, implemented in 19. So here, can I say the sales will be 820 minus excise duty? Because this is inclusive of GST. This is inclusive of GST. So in the format when you go, make sure this revenue minus this minus your excise duty. Okay, minus your excise duty. I have taken this item also on my list. See how I club it all. Okay. Then employee benefit. Okay, employee benefit is your employee expense. You can easily write it, employee expense. Link is equal to go and P&L and link it. This is it. Link it. Okay, employee expense, just linking it. So now
So sales are recorded including GST or excluding GST?
this is inclusive of GST. You don't see GST.
Okay, it
written.
includes the GST value.
So excess duty gone and it was included in over here. So you cannot say this was your sales. Your sales was 820 minus the excess duty. Okay. Nowadays you
Sir,
don't
but
give.
in FY19,
Right.
but in FY19 that 8,60,000 include GST.
That was
Means
subtraction.
we have added the GST.
So nowadays if I sell you product of 100 na, and let's say 20% GST. So in my company I will only report 80 rupees as my sales. Previously I used to report sales and then a excise duty as a different amount. Nowadays it is all inclusive only. Okay. This employee. Acha, now should I take finance cost? Because in a format, yesterday I told you, that day we discussed, I want all the profits at once. I do profit, I take I take expenses, find profit. Take one expenses, find profit. Take one expenses, find profit. Now can I say employ and other expenses? Here now I will only take this other expenses. Now this is also one type of other expenses only. Vehicles dies for own use. Vehicles or now this they have minus it. Now this is vehicle dies for own use. It might be that they have capitalized this cost. They have capitalized this cost. Means, but they show you that they have done this cost. They show you that we have spent that amount, but we have capitalized in the balance sheet. That is why we are subtracting from over here and adding it back. Either they would have written, other expenses like this total. They were written like this 79, but they don't write it. They show you that other expense were total this much, and out of that 609 was capitalized. So it is already taken in the asset. That is why they subtract it from over here. Now you will see many a times amount capitalized to the annual report. I will show you. Now this works in all Tata companies. Tata Motors. If you want to learn accounting, Tata Motors annual report is or maybe their quarterly reports are the best. Sometimes even I think that what I am doing, what are these numbers, where are these items coming from in Tata Motors? Tata Motors is one of the difficult company to track, plus to even write format is. There are expenses like this. I will show you. Tata Motors. See, there's so many expenses over here. Compulsory convertible preferred shares measured at fair value. Foreign exchange gains. Product development charges. Amount transferred to capital and other account. Now it is minus over here. Amount transfer to capital and current account. Cost minus means, can I say it's a profit for you? A reduction in expenses means your profit will increase. Do you agree?
Yes.
But they still give you this amount. They could have clubbed it and given to you, but they still give you. Now why do they give you? Matching principal concept. Again, interview question. R&D expense. R&D expense. Should you report on balance sheet or should you report on P&L? Where should you report? R&D expense.
Balance sheet.
Why balance sheet? No, not
Is
P&L.
It is not directly contributing to the sales.
But why you do R&D? For sales only, in the future.
Yes, but it would be long term, say for next 10 years.
You see,
You are
R&D
not
expense, R&D expense, now your matching principle concept, we only took that expenses that were required to do sales. Now, R&D expenses is like you are doing some R&D expenses which are not related to sales or maybe not directly related to sales. It is like, I will give an example. You are running a car company, let's say Maruti, and Maruti is doing some R&D on finding a technology that will work on water. Again, hypothetical scenario. Now that is, they are not selling vehicles which work on water. So these expenses, companies have the choice to capitalize it. Okay, they will not take on P&L. But what company does is they show you, this we have taken on balance sheet. They show you differently, because if they don't show you differently, you will never understand that how much are they spending on R&D. Okay, that is why it is like expenses which are usually capitalized. They show you in minus sign. There's also operating expenses only. What I will do is other expenses. Tata Motors have a lot of expenses like this. Other expenses. That's why I tell you, don't do Tata Motors without anyone's help. You have professional help. Tata Motors are the difficult numbers. You see now how many items are over there. Compulsory convertible. What you will do this amount? Compulsory convertible preference shares. Operating, non-operating. Measured at fair value. Operating, non-operating. Expense. Is it related to say, sales?
no
Non-operating. Again, forex gain. Operating, non-operating.
non-operating. No.
Again, non-operating, not related to sales. Product development and emerging expenses. Now, what is this?
R&D.
R&D. Now you can capitalize or you can also take it as other expenses. Now, since they have not capitalized, so you also take in other expenses only. Here they have said that they have capitalized the expense. That is why they have minus it over from over here. Okay. Amount transfer to capital and other account. This has been transferred some other account. So they have given product development and emerging charges, engineering charges. So they have reported in the P&L. So take this as an expense as well. So in other expenses, you will also add this item. And these items, you will minus it from the other expenses because it's a profit for you. And this expense has already been reported as an asset somewhere. Okay. So whatever we now your EBITDA, gross profit minus employee expense minus other expenses. Okay, now your EBITDA margins. EBITDA margins will be EBITDA divided by revenue. Okay, 15%. Okay, this is 15%, 15.4. Now other expense also, other expenses as a percentage of sales, because I've said that it is usually as a percent for the sales, used for the sales. Percentage of sales, 13%. So now I told employee expense to be taken as the growth of last year. So last year we don't have a figure, but I will just keep the formula and keep it over here. Do it percentage. There is no number for last year, but I will keep a formula and keep this. Then I will make difference. This, okay. EBITDA, now you subtract your depreciation. Depreciation, and depreciation is how much? Is equal to this one, 2020. Okay. So it's depreciation, then you get your EBIT. See, I'm making this format for myself because I don't want, to get this raw data. Whenever the results are out, I want to find the numbers, what is actually happening in the results. Again, EBITDA margins, so it is EBIT margins. Okay, EBIT margins. Again, divide by sales. Now, I hope everyone knows what is EBIT margins. Margins, I hope everyone knows. Margins we have calculated. Then now it is your interest. Interest expense. Now, many of the students also don't know what is interest expense. Over here, when I write interest, what is that interest expense?
Finance cost.
The finance cost. Okay, then it comes your. Acha, now with interest, now what happens? It comes profit, right? This one comes earnings before taxes. But there are many other. I forgot to punch this. I have taken all this. I have taken, right? All the expenses I have taken now. Other income I have not taken, and these are the incomes I have not taken. Share of profit and share of joint ventures. Now, can I say this is exceptional gains? Share of profits. So what I will write? I will write over here because this EBT, profit before tax. Profit before tax should match this item, this amount, 75,847. It should match because it is from here on this income only you pay taxes. Okay, this should tally. If I directly minus, it will not tally. So what all things are left? Other income was left. Other income was left. And then even these two items were left. These are not to be forecasted. No need of forecasting these two items. You can keep it aside like way. And then you can, other income was there. Okay, let us see. Have we linked everything properly? Other income was there. This. Okay. Now carefully to a EBIT minus interest plus other income. This is profits, plus share of profits plus share of associates. I got the answer 75,847. 75,847. This you have to tally. And then your EBT margins. EBT margin doesn't reflect anything because of the other components in it. Still, I will do it. EBIT margins. In 0.1%. Then your tax rate, and then your tax expense. And you have already calculated your tax expense, which was this 20,842. And then how you find your tax rate now? Find your tax rate is tax expense divided by EBT. That is 27.5. So approximately is 27.5. Then you get your profit after tax. Profit EBT minus profit. So now make sure all these are bold. Whichever is calculated, it is bold. Other things are linked. Interest, okay, this is bold. No interest, nothing here. EBT is bold. Tax expense. Now you get. Now the beauty of this is I select all. See, once it is linked, see whether it is telling. 94, it is telling. Means everything you have linked it right. Let me freeze this. I'm freezing this. Freezing this. Now I copy this. Copy 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can copy this also and do this. Copy, Control C, go over here, select and press enter. This will come automatically. See, all I've got, or else what I can do is, there's one more way of doing it. When you have to go to the right hand side, it works only when you want to go to right hand side. I press Control R. Either copy paste or Control R. Select and press Control R. Okay, margins are remaining. It's fat margins. See now what I found. Did I get the entire? Did I get the entire data as what has happened in the company in the last 5 years? The last 5 years. Now when 24 data comes, you just have to copy and paste it because you will post raw data over here. It will be as per the format of balance sheet. So it'll be very easy. Just copy paste. And then in just less than 1 minute, you will find that what is the growth that company has done, what is the revenue growth, what is the PAT growth, gross margins, etc., with just one click. Now I do over here. Okay, I forgot to do year-on-year growth for the company. Just select. See now I can easily find out that there is some error, some problem in from FY18 to FY19. There was a sales decline, means it was 17%, and suddenly it became 7.8%. This you say year-on-year growth, year-on-year growth. And take for this, you can also do for EBITDA, year-on-year growth for EBITDA. All year-on-year growth you can take. How you take it is equal to ending amount divided by beginning amount minus 1. Press enter and then do percentage. Copy and paste. See, EBITDA increased 93% of Maruti this year. Look at the stock price as well of Maruti. Year on year again. Achha, if depreciation increases at a higher rate, then what do you assume? See, increased 17%. What do you mean by this? What do you assume from analysis? What analysis you do?
Company has taken capex.
increasing.
Company has done more capex in this year. You might find it in the balance sheet as well, which is FY19, FY20. Let's go and see in the balance sheet. PP, FY19. No, there was nothing. What have they purchased? Intangible, right of use assets increased. Right of use increased, and anything else increased, non-intangible. Now this data you will get from the company's schedules or notes to accounts. That why it has increased. Did the capex happens this year or already the capex had happened in FY19 and the depreciation came in 20? Because it might be possible that at the end of the year, capex must have done. Right? FY19, if the capex was done, so you can see this, right? It was done in FY19. It might be done at the far end of the year. Can you assume this? In FY19, there was a big jump in the PPE. Assume that the company must have done capex in this at the far end of the year. And then it spilled out to depreciation spilled out in FY20. From this, I come to know that company is having a tax rate at around 20%. Revenue it was increased 25, 33%. Big jump. Historically, it has done the highest revenue ever by Maruti. If you see in the last 10 years also, it has done the highest revenue this year. Quite obvious because the average ticket price of the car has increased for Maruti. Now Maruti is also selling a 30 lakh rupees car. So might possible that in next year it might increase more because the average ticket size of Maruti has increased. Maruti are also now into selling high-end products. like the Grand Vitara Brezza, which cost around 22 lakhs, the Jimny, which cost around 15 lakhs, the the Fronx, the top end model also contributes to around 15 lakhs, 12 to 15 lakhs. So they have now a lot of products in the range of 12 to 15 lakhs. Now Maruti is no more what do you say, a cheap car or maybe a mid low income car now. They also sell high end cars. And you see the beauty of Maruti. Maruti has cars in all the segments. If you are poor, you buy Alto Wagoner. I'm not telling poor as in if your income is lower, you might purchase Alto Wagoner. If your income is slightly higher, you might go for Swift. If your income is now from poorer, let's say from middle class, let's say higher middle class, you might buy a Baleno. More, your salary increases from 10 to 15 lakhs, you might buy a Grand Vitara. Your salary increases from 15 to 20 lakhs, you might buy a Invicto. So till Maruti has covered all the ranges. Now it is just about the demand. It is just about the demand. If the demand ever increases of the automobile, Maruti will be the first one to rise. See, Hyundai is also there. Hyundai is also there. Maruti faced tough competition from Hyundai. But no, people prefer Maruti. According to me, because of the availability of the parts. Do you agree? Because of the availability of the parts,
Yes.
people prefer Maruti and low maintenance. Whereas Hyundai gives you 100 features in a car and the maintenance is way more costly. Now, I generally don't prefer Hyundai cars. Means given a choice to buy a car, I might go for a Maruti or I might go for some other brand, but I don't go for Hyundai. And this is my personal choice. I'm not talking about you. There are also different choices for different people, but this is my choice. I don't prefer a Hyundai vehicle. Rather, I will go for a Maruti. Now, this is what is happening. You see, suddenly Creta has increased, but now since Maruti has launched, just look around. You see a lot of Grand Vitaras nowadays. First of all, the pricing is less than Hyundai Creta. Creta top end, I went to channel checks. I was when Maruti was launching Grand Vitara, na, I went for channel checks for Maruti. I went as a customer in the Maruti showroom and the Hyundai showroom. Both the showroom were beside, in front of each other. So first I went to Maruti. I didn't wanted to buy a car. I just wanted to do research that Maruti has launched Grand Vitara. What is the price? Model wise price I have. Model wise price. So what I found is Creta, the top end version comes around 23 lakhs in Mumbai on road. Whereas Maruti's top end comes around 19 lakhs. 19, 19.5, and you also get discounts. This was this non-negotiable price, but around the same this range. And the Maruti's variants starts from right from 12 lakhs, 12, 13 lakhs. And if you want to buy a base, you get 13 lakh. Creta, you don't get base models. When I went to the showroom, he says, sir, I have a top end model and the second model. We don't have the base models with us. Well, why? Sir, because the demand is high, we don't keep base models. Everyone wants to buy top end models. See, there's 10 lakhs difference between a base and a top end. So obviously, if you want to buy Grand Vitara, you might think that I don't want a sunroof. Okay. You might think that, okay, I'm okay with a feature. See, to give 10 lakhs is a different concept. 10 lakhs, even for middle class people, is a big amount. Just to buy the same car, just to buy more features and all. You might go for a 15, 16 lakh car, which gives you premium features, but not as that Hyundai gives. This is what I found out. And I tell that was saying, Rishabh, are you going to buy a car? Like that, I'm not going to buy. I'm not buying a car. I'm doing my analysis over there. Every time my wife also gets fed up with me. Rishabh, why you want to? If you're not buying a car, why you go and harass the salesmen over there? I asked him all 100 things. That why Vitara is good. Now go and ask a Maruti guy. I will buy Hyundai cars. No, he will give you 100 negative points of Hyundai. You go to a Hyundai showroom and ask, you are giving at 23 lakhs. No, Maruti is giving me at 19 lakhs. I will go and buy Maruti car. So then he will say, what is missing in Maruti? Now you have to analyze that. What is that features worth? Means tomorrow, you say that I am charging 23 lakhs because I am giving ventilated seats. Now, is it a feature that without this feature you cannot run your car? Ventilated seats, right? Then they say I give you electric adjustment of your seats, premium features. For that, will you pay 4 lakhs extra? Now, that is your choice. That will given a point, will you pay 4 lakh extra for this all useless feature? Not useless. It is a feel good feature, but has no relation with the car. Car is same, engine same, average same, everything same. It is a feel good feature that if you have more premium, if you have, let's say, a lot of money, then you might go and buy this. But an average individual won't prefer it, according to the analysis, my analysis. Even a given a choice, I will not pay 4 lakh extra for these features. Okay. Now, if I have a lot of money, then obviously I will pay. That I want this only. I want an electric seat. I also want a panoramic sunroof. Now, Maruti is also giving, but no, I want a panoramic sunroof. And if it comes in 23 lakhs, okay, I will buy that. Or maybe, there are like digital instruments, or maybe wireless Android Play. Those all things. Maruti says, I have a wire one. But Honda says, no, I have a wireless one. So now it is up to you. You want to wireless one or wire one? That is up to you. So this is analysis what I did. And I found it. I have purchased Maruti here only. FY21 only I purchased Maruti. And I keep on telling my colleagues, buy Maruti, buy Maruti. They are like, Rishabh, 10,000 rupees stock, who will buy? 10,000 rupees stock, who will buy? I will rather buy a mid cap. Today only, when my uncle messaged me, Rishabh, which stock to buy? I told him, uncle, buy Maruti. He's like, Rishabh, 10,000 rupees stock. Tell me some small stocks. I said, when that 10,000 will become 15,000, now it is a 50% jump. Don't underestimate 10,000. Maruti was 1,000 in 2011-12. People said, sir, 1,000 rupees stock, Rishabh. That is like, a very costlier stock. Tell me something like 200-300 rupees stock. That 1,000 is today 10,000. Okay. And it didn't go 10,000 today. The 10,000 was crossed in 2017 itself. That 10,000. See, I'll show the chart from 2015 over year 12. From 2012 to 2017. 1,000 to 10,000 in 5 years. 1,000 to 10,000 in 5 years. What is the CAGR for Maruti? 5 years, 1,000, 10,000. 58% return on an average per year. 58% return. This people ignore. Say that Maruti is a large cap stock, you should not buy. What do you call 58% return? It is just about time and what you analyze. Okay, but now from there, it has been stagnant. Now it has started improving. Now I'll give you reasons why it was down. Because of lot of competition. People buy Maruti. You say, sir, the Maruti car is very good. Baleno is good. Brezza is good. This is good. That is good. But don't want to buy the stock. Reason? Because it is the costliest stock. Even same thing, Bullet stock was 2,000 rupees stock at one time. It went to 20,000. People were like, 2,000 is a costliest stock. Why to buy 2,000, 3,000 rupees stock? When it went to 20,000, everyone started talking. He said, what to do now? What is it? 3,000 became 20,000. Same. That was not 5 years. See, now since the stock has split, Eicher Motors stock has split, but I will show you the growth. Now the stock has split. Now it has come to 33,000, but it was the growth. See over here, it was from here only. When 13 to 17, 319 to 31,000. 319 to 31,000. 149% return in the 5 years. People say that I see Bullet, There's a lot of bullets. I like bullet bikes. It has been a game changer, etc., etc. But no one go and purchase. Why? Because it's a costlier stock. Now this 300, since it has split into 1:10, that was 3,000 rupees stock at that time. No one wanted to purchase, but everyone wants to buy the bike. You see bikes on the road. What do you call? Now, no, by knowing all those things, now I don't even track small caps or mid caps. I said I don't want to be a millionaire. Even if I do this now, it is way more. What if I had purchased 10 lakhs of Maruti? Rather than buying a 10 lakh rupees car of Maruti, I would have purchased a 10 lakh rupees. Rather than buying a one 10 lakh rupees car of Maruti, what if I had invested 10 lakh rupees in 2012? See what would have happened. In 2012, let us say I invest 10 lakh. I say I don't want to buy a car. I'm happy with a regular car. I go and invest that 10 lakh in Maruti. Each year to the power 5. My 10 lakh would have become 1 crore. 1 crore. And in 5 years, I would have purchased a easily a Mercedes. Do you agree? I would have settled down with a normal car over here. Let us say a very cheaper car, let's say an Alto or maybe a Swift. Let's say I didn't want to buy a premium car. That was Baleno and Ertiga came at that time, 2012-13. I would have okay, or going to bike with my to the office. Now this is what now next big thing I am finding. You also should find in this way only. Don't go to buy mid cap, small cap stock. Sir, 2 rupees stock. Small cap stock will become multi-bagger. 2 rupees will become 200. Even this becomes, even big large cap becomes, but it will obviously it will take time. But you have to find the right time. For that, you need to have go and see, go around. Now, personally, if you ask me as an analyst, though we track small cap, though we talk about mid cap, I am not gonna buy mid caps ever from now. If I want to buy, I will only buy, let's say 5-10% of my portfolio and see whatever happens. I'm okay. Things that I look every day, what is happening around, what is the steel prices like, what is the petrol prices like, how is it impacting the Maruti sales, what is my neighbor buying, what is his friends buying, what are my friends buying. You buy, okay, you buy, I will buy the stock. That day my dad went and purchased Bata shoes. That dad said, Rishabh, Bata is a good product. I said, no, dad, don't buy Bata, buy Metro brands. We are holding the stock. Buy Metro brands. Tell me, go and buy Metro brand. I only promote. No, Bata is not good. Metro is good. To my friends. Now, if I see reviews from my friends that Rishabh, yeah, Metro was actually good, I will go and purchase that stock more. I use it also. I use that, but no, I will every time I go now, every time I tell my dad, my mom, my friends, Metro bands. Have you seen Metro bands? And I ask reviews from them. Do you use Metro bands? Now someone will come, Rishabh, say that product is not good. Worst of a product. Now then I will find what was that product, why it is a waste. And then I go to the showroom and say, I get reviews like that. What are you doing with this? They do reply. Or it might also be a one of a kind that the product is not good. Then find the after sale service. Do they have a good after sale service? If your product was a waste or maybe product was defected, did they replace you in the time? Were you happy with the customer service? This ground research no one does. Everyone just want to do this analysis. And that is why you get rejected in interviews. Because if you are okay, if you are qualified, if you're a CA, CFA, then it is fine. But what if you are just a BCom? Now this analysis even CFA doesn't know, not even an IIM graduate know all this. But if you compete IIM, if you compete IIM guy with this analysis, he will kill you. He will be way more ahead than you. They say, I have done model, I have made a research report, I have done ratio analysis. He is way more ahead. Those guys are way more ahead than what you think. But this is where they lack. because they are always into Excel. And that is the reason I left Crisil, because they were also doing the same thing. Every time Excel. I went mad at them. This is not the way you do research. That was the only reason I left my job. Obviously, I was finding a new job, but that was the only reason that they were doing all Excel stuff, and I was mad. That I was furious that stock market doesn't work on Excel. Model 2 I can make in 10 minutes, in 2 hours. You give me, I can make any models. But what about this research? And this only happens when you do everyday research. Now you will read news one day, then you will not read newspapers, then you will look at the market after 15 days. Sir, market was up today. Market was down today. But what happened in the last few 15, 20 days, 20 days? You go to the interview, you'll say you have done some, this research stuff with RK Advisory. He will catch you that you have not learned anything. Straight away, he will catch you. He will ask you such questions if you tell him that I have tracked markets. Okay, fine. So now this you can do it. Now find that how is the EBITDA margin different for Maruti, different for Tata Motors, different for M&M, different for Hero. How is this margin changing? What is the growth? Everyone did everyone suffer this year, or was Maruti exceptional? And same, you will find same thing in TVS and Hero. What is the margins? Now the margins have declined. You see, the margins have declined. Now it increased. Now what do you mean? Margins have increased. What would have happened to the commodity cost if margins increased? Margins increase. Means commodity cost
decreased.
must have declined, right?
Yeah.
And we can specifically over here because at 400 crores, Maruti had purchased at a lower cost. Now it has increased, but Maruti had purchased at a lower cost. This is where you understand, okay, there are some issues with the raw material cost. Here, see, percentage of sales. See, it was 13, 12, 14, 14. Suddenly it increased to 15. So this was COVID, these 2 years were COVID. So can I say approx Maruti spent 14%? See, you can get the average around 13%. And you see around 13% is Maruti spent on advertising. So for the forecasting, you can do. Now how will you forecast? Basic forecasting. I assume, let us say historical growth was this. I will take this 2 years and this 3 years. Okay. Normal. Then I select this. I get around 20% growth. Obviously, Maruti will not grow 20% from over here. Go and find the industry growth. How Tejas found that FMCG companies were growing at, FMEG companies were going at, industry is growing at 10%, 10.7%. So also you will find auto sector growing. As of now, just take it 15% growth. Okay. Now growth means increase. So into 1 plus 15%. You take the averages of all and try doing at least try forecasting the PAT. What will be the PAT? At least for 1 year. Rest all items should be kept 0 or same. These all things don't forecast because these are non-operating. We only want to know about operating stuff. Non-operating stuff is as it is, not important. Okay, interest will forecast. As of now, we'll keep it same. Depreciation we had forecasted, but as of now, we'll keep same. Then I will tell you when we'll make the asset schedule. Cost of goods sold. It is around 73. And then see, it was lower. See, here it was lower. So can I say Maruti can still achieve this? Or maybe margins were 31%. Can I say there is still room for Maruti to achieve? Now with premium products. This can go up to 30%. Historically, they have done it. I think that it will go more. Because this year, so they were selling Alto and Brezza, Alto and Baleno over here. Here they are selling Invicto, Jimny, the Grand Vitara, high value products they are selling. It might be possible that the margins might increase, the cost might decline. So I will take, okay, the lower was, okay, lower of this was around 68%. Assumption. This is no why I have taken not, because I have just seen this, that in the good years of Maruti, they were doing around 68. So I assume that now this is a good time for Maruti. So they might have a cost of 68%. 68% is the cost. And now it is just copy and paste. And also now it is copy paste. Now salary, what about salary? You see in Maruti, they don't consider this. So this is a normal year, FY23, and the normal years for Maruti. Average hike is around 17% in Maruti. Average hike that you see is around 17%. So Maruti salary is good. Now see whether this increase is same in Tata Motors and Mahindra. And then you will understand that are this company worth working? Do people leave the job or people are there? Infosys have the highest attrition rate in India. Attrition means people who leave the job, percentage of people who leave the job. Attrition rate is 21 something, around 20% in Infosys. Means every year 20% of the people leave. It is lowest for TCS at 10%, lowest in the industry. Go and ask to your any Infosys employee, if you have friends, ask them how is your salary increment. They will always creep about their salary. Go and ask. I have heard this from many of my friends, engineer friends. If have given a choice, I will leave Infosys today. But since they're not finding jobs, they're not leaving. So if you tell me which company to invest, though both are good companies, I would prefer investing in TCS because of the good culture over there and the numbers are visible. Here also you can see the numbers. If Maruti is giving 17% hike on an average, it means that Maruti is actually a good company. You don't get 17% hike. You don't get 17% hike, any company in India. Now it has declined, so we can take around, still it is around 15%. Still it is around 15%. So I will, and growth, growth means into 1 plus 10%, 15%. I'm sharing this sheet with you guys. And okay, now this again, percentage I saw it is around 13% is Maruti what they spent on advertising and other expenses. So are red items. So do this at least for 2 companies, and you have a long weekend. Okay, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. In this long, sorry, next week I am not there. Sorry, I forgot. I am not there on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Okay, the classes won't be there. We will start from Thursday. Okay, since there's Ganpati. Okay. Monday,
Okay,
Tuesday, Wednesday. Okay. So Wednesday I will be there. Okay, just 2 days only. Okay, Wednesday I will update you guys. I don't know about the, because my Ganpati will go on 19th. I don't know about.
Yes, sir. Make sure on Wednesday, Thursday only, na, sir.
Okay, fine. That's fine.
Okay.
11
Thank you,
Thursday.
sir.
Okay. So Thursday same time. Till then, you make this for as many as company prepare this model, because why I'm telling you, because once you know modeling, it will be easy for you to solve every model at once. One day you set up, all 4 models will be completed. But for that, first you should understand the companies. Modeling won't take time. Modeling, I'm saying again, it won't take time. It is very simple. The assumptions are the difficult part in this. Okay. So probably, by next weekend, not next, sorry, next to next week, that is 24th, 30th week, this week, we will complete off with at least the linkaging of the model. And then first we will start off with valuation of October, probably, if everything goes as per plans. Okay. Fine.
Yes, sir.
Dharmesh, I'm sending you this file. Others don't copy. Do it on your own. You will see what is the issue that you face while punching numbers. Okay. Okay. Now,
Okay,
I
sir.
wanted to show something. Sorry. I
Nothing,
wanted to
sir.
show you.
Bye.
One second. I wanted to show you something, guys. I forgot.
Okay.
I recently created a model. One second. I'll stop the video since it was